Well, hello, quilting friends, and happy Feature Friday, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me in my sewing studio today. We are going to be looking at how to delete patterns off of your robotic system. As you know, I loaded a whole bunch of pattern files onto my robotic system for my little red, white, and bluish star quilt that I made, and I finished quilting that out. It's still on the frame, so I'll show you guys that I really did finish it. But I wanted to delete all of those pattern files that I put on my robot. I tend to add and add and add, and I buy things and use them for specific quilts with no intention of ever using them again. So I want to take them off of my system. There's no reason why you can't leave them on there. You can load thousands and thousands of patterns onto your Butler robot system and leave them there. I just want to take them off because I do so many demos and it just bogs down what I'm looking for sometimes. So for me, I'm going to delete these files, but you can always leave anything you import on your system. I do have all of my files that I purchased backed up on a USB stick and on my desktop so that if I ever want to use them again, I've got them. So once I delete them off of here, they're not gone forever. If you do delete something off of your robotic system, it will be gone forever off your robotic system. But if you have it backed up somewhere else, you'll be able to load it again. If you do remove a file that was a Butler file that came preloaded on your system, it will be gone. So just make sure you're super careful about what you're deleting. So I'm going to turn you guys around. You can get a quick look at the finished quilt top, and then we'll look at deleting those files that I loaded for the quilt top. Right, everybody. So here is the quilt, and you can see I did flip it on its side to finish my little black borders that went on the sides, but I did get the whole thing finished. I love how all my swirly patterns turned out in the middle here. I think it looks so cute. I'm happy with it. It is done and ready to come off this frame. So I'm going to delete the files that I used for this. So that is all of my little swirly patterns that I used, this cute little thing here, everything that I loaded for this. To do that, I'm going to come in here from layout. I've just got here my safe area. I'm going to go into patterns. And from patterns, I actually have to come down here to my tag tab. So when I highlight my tag tab, it turns orange and the layout of everything kind of switches around. So my patterns go from the right side of my screen over to the left, and my tag list is over here on the right instead of being on the left. Everything kind of switches around a little bit. Now remember that I saved all of the patterns for this quilt under the tag RWB and then star. So I'm gonna have to find that tag so I can find all of those patterns. And up here at the top, I've got a big button that says select tag. So I'm gonna hit that, and I get a different page with all of my tags over here. So I can scroll through this and find the tag RWB star, and I can touch on it and highlight it, and that's going to bring up all of the patterns I have under RWB star. So with it highlighted, I'll hit my check mark, and here we are with all of the patterns that I chose that I might want to put on this quilt top. I did not end up using all of those. I used this little double circle in the border and this one in my outer border, and I used this triangle, and this triangle inside filling in the quilt, and this one in kind of my squares in the corner. So I did load a lot that I didn't even use. I told you guys I always overbuy patterns, and right now I don't have any plans of using any of these, so I just want them off of my system. So as you can see, we have the word delete up here. And remember, make sure you really want these gone before you delete them. So if we want to delete one pattern at a time, we can touch on it, highlight it orange, and then just hit the word delete. Our system is going to say delete one pattern. It's going to tell us the name of the pattern. So this is the point-to-point 4-point arch. And it says it's going to delete it from the tablet and tell you that it cannot be undone. If you truly want to delete it, you can press OK. And if you've changed your mind, you can always press cancel. I'm going to hit OK. And when I do that, it's now going to be taken completely off my tablet. So we can go back into that tag and make sure it's gone. I'll hit select tag up here. We'll find our tag in the list over here, RWB star, and hit our check mark, and that design is now gone. We can do a multi-select if we want to do multiple patterns and delete them at one time. We've got multi-select up here, kind of in the top left corner. And there is an eensy-weensy little square box next to that. And if you touch on it very carefully, there will be a teeny tiny little check mark that appears. And when you do that, you can select multiple patterns at one time. They will all highlight orange, and you could delete all of these at once. So I've highlighted 5 different patterns. I can hit delete now, and it's going to say delete 5 patterns, and it's listing out the names of all of those patterns. Once again, you can either cancel, or if you truly want to delete those patterns, you can hit OK. I hit OK. We're taken back to our home screen in our tag, and we're going to assume those are gone. We can double check by selecting tag. I can go back to my tag for those patterns, and they are all gone as well. If we wanted to completely wipe out all of the patterns all at one time and we're really sure, we can always hit our select all button. And by hitting select all, it highlights all of the patterns under that tag, and we can hit delete. And it's going to delete all 11 patterns that are highlighted right now. It lists them all out. Once again, it double checks with you, telling you it can't be undone once they're gone. You've got your options to cancel or hit OK, and I'm going to hit OK. So now when we go back to our select tag and I find my tag, it should be completely empty. And there we are. There are no patterns left. So I've deleted all of those patterns off of my robotics system. But now what am I going to do with this empty tag RWB star? I'm not going to requilt this quilt with this name ever again. So I can actually delete this tag as well. So if we come over here on the right-hand side, we've got our list here. Down here at the bottom, it says edit tags. And once again, it has one of those teensy tiny little squares next to the word edit tag. If I touch on that, I get a little check mark there. And the part of the screen where I had my patterns is now grayed out, and I can go through my tag list on this side. I'm going to highlight RWB star, and with that highlighted, I can hit the minus down here at the bottom, and it says delete tag RWB star from the tablet. And once we do that, that can't be undone. I can cancel or hit OK. I'm going to hit OK, and now my tag has been deleted. I need to undo the check mark next to edit tag because that's the only tag I want to remove. So I can undo the check mark. I've got all of this available, and if you look over here at the tag list, because it's in alphabetical order, I do not have RWB star anymore as a tag. So we've deleted all of those patterns, and we deleted our tag that we set for our particular quilt. So that is how to delete patterns and delete a tag once you've created one. So having tags and loading patterns under tags is a great organizational system for when you're putting things in a file for your particular quilt top. You want to stay organized while you're working on something, but once you're done, you can always remove those patterns and the tag that you put in the system for that. Just make sure you really want to remove those things before you go hitting delete, because once you've deleted, they are gone. You can always re-add those things. Just make sure you have those patterns on some form of a backup, whether it's a USB or you have all of the files saved on your laptop or desktop so that you can pull them back up and reload them later. Thank you guys for going on the quilting journey with me for this particular quilt, and we'll see you next time for a brand new quilt. Thanks so much, and y'all have a great day.